Well, it's that time again. Time to feature a replay that I should have uploaded a long time ago, but didn't out of either laziness or whatever, really. But this one's a little bit different. Instead of just having a good game, well, this certainly is a good game, this replay is a bit special in another way, which I will get to in a bit. This replay is me in the Torpedo Reload Booster Kagero, a nice and fun little Japanese destroyer. I really liked this ship back when I played it. This replay was recorded on December 28th, 2017, so exactly 6 months ago from when I'm recording this right now, and hopefully I'll be uploading it later today. You know, it's getting late, so hopefully this isn't too late. But yes, the Torpedo Reload Booster Kagero was a very fun ship to play with, and the Torpedo Reload Boost Yugamo I am really enjoying now. I honestly am going to miss Torpedo Reload Boost when I'm finally sailing around Shimakaze, and probably bringing down the clan and clan battles because I insist on using that damn thing. But regardless, and side note, I don't know what it is about the Shiratsuyu, but I absolutely fucking suck in the Shiratsuyu for some undiscernible reason. It's plays the exact same as the Kagero, the Yugamo, the Akatsuki, and I did perfectly fine on all those ships. I've resorted to just straight up using the smoke screen because I find that I need to have a smoke to at least try to hide. You know, especially now with the influx of cruisers thanks to the brand new U.S. cruiser line. And speaking of the U.S. cruiser line, this replay, being 6 months ago, is going to feature the now defunct Tier 6 Cleveland as a primary target throughout some of these battles. Now, this is a standard battle, but I'm still kind of sailing ahead into where the, I believe it's the Sea Cap would normally be here on Haven. Managed to spot this Mayhan, and now what I have to do with the Torpedo Reload Boost, I don't have a smoke. This isn't an Akizuki or an Asashio. What I have to do is, like, be careful with the throttle, don't get too close, and just be able to maintain spotting range. That's what I'm trying to do with this guy, but the little catapult fighter there ends up catching me and stopping me in my tracks. I was kind of a noob and had my AA gun still up. I have no clue why. I'm guessing I might have been permaplane spotted in the previous match that I played. No clue. Was 6 months ago. But regardless, this right here is going to really show the advantages of this particular type of build on destroyers. It's a very high risk and high reward type of thing. So I see this gaggle of enemy ships approaching. Got a Tirpitz, Fuso, Algeri, a lot of targets here. The old target-rich environment. So I'm gonna set up for a shot on this guy's. I believe I'm actually aiming toward the Fuso. The replay kind of fucked up a little bit. So 8 torpedoes in the water. Hit the reload boost. 8 seconds, and 8 more torpedoes. I believe I'm going to actually aim at the Algeri, although now it shows me actually shooting at the Fuso. So, I don't know what's up with this replay. So, while I try and avoid pulling a Notzer, these torpedoes, 18 of them, or 16, I can't count, these 16 torpedoes are going to end up doing quite a lot of damage, but not to the targets that I was aiming at. The Fuso and the Algeri end up avoiding every single one of them. Maybe the Algeri was running Hydro, perhaps, or maybe it was just dumb luck. But if he was running Hydro, what this Tirpitz does is all the more baffling. 2 torpedo hits from the first wave of 8, and 2 more from the second, and just like that, a top-tier battleship wiped from the face of the Earth. And I believe that's the only top-tier battleship, or the only Tier 8, that the enemy team has in this game. So that should be pretty useful for our team going forward. the majority of the enemies are up on this end of the map anyway, so I have plenty of stuff to shoot at. The team north of the island ring is holding up. They're not going to hold out forever. They're outnumbered, but thankfully to the south we appear to be kind of raffle stomping the enemy. So what I'm doing now, the torpedoes are getting close to being reloaded, so I'm thinking of sneaking up on this Mayhem smoke screen. This guy is my most direct obstacle right now, and since the other enemy destroyer has already been taken out, he's the last one on the team, and, well, that was unexpected. Shoot one gun, shoot the rear guns, and, well, there's no use in wasting both salvos. So, one torpedo salvo out, that's gonna hit, and I'm just gonna turn away, completely reverse course, and prevent him from doing the same to me. And just like that, that's kill number 2. And oh shit, I've just been set on fire. So there's no use in trying and just saving this other torpedo salvo. So I'm looking to dump this toward the enemy ships that are just past the island, though I don't want to hit the Mayhem's wreck. But I'm being plane spotted because of these fires. And since I'm being spotted, I'm still being shot at. I get out of range of the planes, but take a nice bit of damage too. But the fires have burnt themselves out, and well, at this point there's no use in blowing my damage control on turrets that'll be up in 7 seconds anyway. So, down to 7,000 health, but that will be the only damage that I take throughout this entire game. I won't stay entirely unspotted. There will be a very annoying scout plane a little bit later on, but I will not be getting shot at anymore. Those torpedoes, yeah, they don't like they're not gonna hit anything. So the reload booster is going to be up though in about 30 seconds, so I'm going to sail over into this channel here and set up for a shot on that Colorado over there. The Colorado is, you know, the only battleship over here that is really pushing the flank and is the most direct threat to our New Mexico there. So I'm going to take some shots over at him. So I'm going to fire the one torpedo launcher that's loaded, and this is the key thing with using the torpedo reload booster. You don't want to waste it. I only have 3 of these things because I don't use Superintendent on my Japanese destroyer builds. This build is actually incomplete. By now, I have it fully set up for a 19-point captain. Actually has RPF on it. So, no Superintendent. So, only 3 torpedo reload boosts, only 3 speed boosts. So, I send the one wave of torpedoes out. I wait for the other one to be reloaded, send that out, and then use the reload booster. That's how I maximize the number of torpedoes I can actually get into the water. And, well, the first salvo appears to have hit its mark. Though, sadly, I wasn't able to cause flooding. Now, this Colorado, I don't know if this was through either skill or dumb luck, but this guy ends up, well, what he does now is actually sensible. He knows there are torpedoes coming through from this direction, so he turns in. I mean, after taking 2 of them, he turns in and ends up avoiding the second set, which was very late arriving. Thankfully, they should run out before crossing paths with the New Mexico there. Now, I shoot these other... now, I shoot the reload boosted torpedoes out. He's going to entirely avoid those 2. I'm guessing I might have just launched them at a poor time, perhaps, when he was kind of feinting further toward our base. But he's going to turn in a lot more sharply, and those torpedoes are just entirely going to whiff. Now, down south, the team appears to be in very, very good shape. We have a majority of our ships down there. All of them are actually in where the B cap would normally be, and the enemy ships down there should be having kind of a hard time dealing with all of that. Up here, though, got a problem. The New Mexico has died, and we have just one Grafspee. Well, it's a Weabo Grafspee, so who knows what the competency of the player behind that. But we're definitely outnumbered up here, and what I'm doing is not really helping stem the push of enemy ships around the outside of the islands. Thankfully, we do have a friendly battleship coming back from the opposite flank, that being a guy in a Nagato, a guy that I would later come to play with a lot. So, I'm setting up now to torpedo this Colorado again, but this guy's already dodged 12 of my torpedoes. He's not going to dodge anymore. He's going to be coming through the channel into my little area here that I've cordoned off for myself, so I can't let him do that. What I'm going to do is get as close to him as I can, use the island as cover, and launch these torpedoes in a way that will pretty much blanket the entire channel. Now, there's a scout plane. This guy launches a scout plane, I'm guessing in hopes of spotting me, which it will, but I'm already around the cover of the island, so he can't shoot me, and, well, the torpedoes have gotten there already, so that was really too late in order to save the Colorado, but it'll end up being a minor annoyance for me, as this scout plane is just going to be circling around in exactly the place I want to go. I wanted to just sail straight through that channel and be in a far more direct position to attack those enemy cruisers with torpedoes. But now I can't. Keep in mind, this is a Tier 6 Cleveland, so it doesn't have radar, and, well, most Clevelands, at least that I run into, actually usually spec defensive AA rather than hydro, despite the very low carrier population on the North American server. So, torpedoing a Cleveland back when it was Tier 6 was not the hardest thing to do in the world. Our Grafspee is not long for this world, he just died. But those torpedoes are actually going to take down, I believe it's the Algerie, which leaves just 2 Clevelands over there. One on full health and one on barely any health. The one that's on really low health is just kind of hugging the island. So what I'm going to do is set up for a launch on the full health Cleveland. I obviously want to get the damage. But this guy is going to be doing something kind of weird. He's slowing down. So I kind of, I put the first set of torpedoes into the water when he was still moving forward. Then I put one about where he would be when he stopped. As it turns out, it looks like he actually ran into the hull of the Algerie that was sinking. So this guy is probably not going to die to that first set of 8 torpedoes. So what I'm going to do is use my last torpedo reload booster and launch the other 8. This guy, though, is, instead of trying actively to sail forward and turn around and run away from a Nagato, he's trying to bow tank a Nagato, which is very stupid in a Cleveland. So let's shoot the torpedoes out. Hopefully they won't hit the hull of, the sinking hull of my friendly Grafspee there. The enemy Cleveland that is on low health near the island is being pinged. I would, if I had smoke, probably be closing in and then opening up on him with the guns. And see that catapult fighter there? I don't want to be spotted by airplanes, especially with even a Tier 6 Cleveland that close to me. And I end up having to hit the brakes and just sit here watching my torpedoes going in. Now, this guy in the Nagato ends up not shooting at that Cleveland there, and which I am thankful for, so I'm able to get my 4th kill. But what ends up happening next, for me, is kind of a little embarrassing. So, the other Cleveland now is sailing forward. Don't really know what he's trying to accomplish, but he's sailing forward right into the Nagato. And incoming fire. Wait for it. Wait for it. Come on, 5th kill for the Kraken. Nope. So yeah, that was me trying to KS a guy that would end up becoming a clanmate of mine. Yeah, slightly embarrassing for me, but hey, I didn't know it at the time. I just wanted my Kraken. But now, a lot of the friendlies that were actually down south have somehow managed to die. and that leaves only 2 enemy battleships remaining in their base at the clear opposite end of the map. That being a Dunkirk and a frickin' Fuso that I tried to torpedo at the very beginning of the game. He had somehow managed to survive that entire time. Now, I'm doing a bit of banter in chat, just saying, hey, if you can keep those battleships down south alive, that'd be great. Now, I know Jingles has said this in his videos a lot. There is no shame in asking the surviving players on your team if you can actually get a Kraken or any sort of achievement, though they have no obligation to actually let you. Now, these 4 surviving players actually let me, which I think is cool. Although, really it would only be 3 surviving players because some funny shit will happen. The friendly New Mexico down south is actually going to end up ramming the Dunkirk. But I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because all I really do is just sail straight toward the enemy cap for about 5 minutes. Okay, so maybe it wasn't 5 minutes. Point is, there was a lot of time where not a whole lot was going on. So, I have no torpedo reload booster left. I have no speed boosts left. So, I'm just sailing over at a stately 37 knots. I say that as if it's slow. But this Fuso, now on about only a little over half health, is going to have to be taken down with just my 1 set of 8 torpedoes. That can easily be done, yes. I only at most need 2 or 3 torpedoes to actually hit and kill him. But the assurance of putting 16 fish into the water and just, brute forcing the kill would really be nice right about now because, the pressure was on, but thankfully what I had to do was very, very simple. This guy had no idea that I was here. I sailed clear across the map. He probably knew that the Farragut was there, and probably just assumed it was the Farragut dipping back into the cap circle. He had the New Orleans shooting at him as well from behind me, so there's probably an incentive there to keep the guns pointed at and firing at the New Orleans, so why would he change course? At least that's what I was saying to try and convince myself that these torpedoes were going to hit, and it really wasn't until about now that I was entirely confident in getting this kill. I ended up running aground on the island, but at this point it didn't matter. That was the 5th kill secured, and the game that ended up getting me into my current clan. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later, I guess.